would like to talk about the draft of war, more specifically in the Cold War era. Since 1940, the selective service has been choosing a lot of young men to go into the war, not voluntarily. The selective service has many ways of getting as many troops as possible for the war. A lot of ways were draft lotteries and propaganda. Propaganda was used a lot, especially in advertisement. They would advertise the war a lot, and then they would, with draft lotteries, they would select some winners every monthly, weekly. If they won, that is because they did not continue education, no high school or college, or they would they would be eligible because of their sexuality too. Only straight men could have gone to the war, and people that went to college also avoided the war. Only those two types of people could have avoided the draft of war during the Cold War. War caused a lot of controversy. Americans started questioning a lot of what the authorities were doing, the selective service that is. Many controversy was was by the war drafts, causing mass migrations and anti-war propaganda. A lot of Americans moved to Canada because of the war being on, and they did want to avoid the war, so they did move to Canada. A lot of them, most of them did. Anti-war propaganda was used very much during the Vietnam War. There was a lot of riots. There was a lot of there was a lot of everything. A lot of celebrities such as John Lennon, Martin Luther King, and Muhammad Ali were all war protesters because they just wanted peace. They didn't want anything bad. Avoidance of war was the best thing that the Americans could have done, because with a lot of war propaganda, anti-war propaganda that is, a lot of authorities did a lot of questionable things, such as killings of protesters against the war that just wanted peace. Whatever the authority did was the opposite for everybody else. They were all against the authorities. The war was really hated, especially in Vietnam. In World War II, it was a little bit less heavy than in Vietnam, because Vietnam was the cause of a lot of Americans dying in Vietnam, especially because it was a loss, but that's another story. Authorities were very fed up with protesters, and by 1973, the war draft ended. It ended because it was kind of outlawed, and it was recognized by authorities that it was wrong, so they discontinued it. The war draft lasted 33 long years. A lot of people remember it. It was a very, very brutal time for Americans, because the draft of war was a horrible place to be in. And it cost a lot of American icons to go against it, and obviously by the end it had to be stopped, and I wanted to inform. Thank you. Have a nice day.